And when you combine that with the fact that we are predicted to see rising sea levels for many more decades now, that's what gets people really concerned. Now, I spoke to a lady today who runs the local newsagent here, and she says if nothing is done at this big climate change summit, she's worried that for future generations, this place could disappear altogether. Touching down on St Mary's this morning, you can see hundreds of rocks and small islands. Experts say thousands of years ago this used to be one piece of land, but now only the highest points remain. By lighting cardboard underneath this police van, the jury agreed Ryan Roberts was trying to endanger the life of the officer inside. Moments later, he goes up to him to say, "You're going to go bang." It was one of a number of offences that night which saw Roberts climb on top of Bridewell Police Station and lead the crowd in anti-police chants. We're just outside Bridewell Police Station where hundreds of protesters have actually been sitting down, but they've actually all just stood up now to clear a lane of the road to allow a lorry to come through, and that really sums up the cooperation between protesters and police tonight. It has been very peaceful as we go through this demonstration. 1 year on, the scars of the explosion are still there for everyone to see.
I had a phone call from my eldest son trying to tell me that Dad was involved, and yeah, that was when we kept saying, well, maybe jokingly, maybe he'd gone to Costa to get a coffee, you know, maybe he's sort of not on site, and because they couldn't find him. He was the missing person.
Well, Ellie, when people bought these flats, they spent a lot of money to be in this location by the coast. But following the Grenfell Tower tragedy, what emerged was that there were multiple fire safety issues in multiple buildings here at Portishead Marina. And what that's led to is people effectively trapped in their homes, unable to sell, some paying thousands of pounds in service charges for waking watches in case a fire breaks out. And that's not even answering the biggest question of all, which is who will pay for all this remedial work to make these buildings safe. Do you think with the right measures in place, this outbreak could have been prevented?
Absolutely. I do think that it could have been prevented. If there was a better isolation facility for those staff, the outbreak would have been prevented.
If you go to the hospital, you will never come back.
For the children, lockdown was like being in prison.
If you're in a low-paid job, you don't have the option of working from home.
They are the voices of a community which often feels forgotten. But today, research conducted by local Somali organisations has revealed how the pandemic has disproportionately affected those living in some of the most deprived parts of the city. This is in many ways a perfect storm. You've got a combination of unsuitable housing for people working long-houred, low-paid jobs which are public-facing, and also the fact that you've got black, Asian and minority ethnic people now getting seriously ill due to this virus. And what this report has done is really exposed many inequalities that already exist. I think it's led to this city to really re-examine its relationship with the slave trader Edward Colston. It's led to Colston Tower changing its name, Colston Hall. And I think many people, though, are now questioning whether this is all just symbolic or whether this moment, a year ago, has led to real change. It's a moment which encapsulated the growing anti-racism movement across the country. But 1 year on, what impact has it had on Bristol? By the time Danny crossed the line, the emotion was overwhelming. A month-long project for his nephew, culminating in the city of Gloucester joining in. How does that feel, Danny?
I'm exhausted. But that's amazing. You know, we weren't expecting this turnout tonight, and it's incredible. You know, the whole city have got together behind us in what we're doing and raising awareness for knife crime.